Why is my roof leaking? I don't know, it's leaking. I've had so many people come out and they've looked at my roof and they can't figure out why my roof is leaking, but it still is. Well, right now I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why it possibly is still leaking and why people have missed it. Hey Gladiators, remember, if you're liking what we're putting out there for you and you're getting some value out of it, you're learning, and you just want to help us out on the channel here, hit that subscribe button, because the more subscriptions that we get, the more likes we get, the more Google gets us out to people and people can find us and they don't have water leaking in their house, and they might learn how to install metal cladding on their walls. Or they might find us so that we can install metal cladding on their walls. One of the two, one of the three. Anyway, enjoy the video. Hopefully you learned something. I'm useless of a script. But I get that. So many tradesmen are thrown into the deep end to do their job, to try and make money, put food on the table and do what they need to do without proper training. A lot of them get basic training, but never go through what actually is required to meet code. So when it comes to roofing, one of these things is the underlap, which is the dog's ear on the underlap, and the fact that that needs to be cut off when going into a gutter edge. This is how you cut it off. So coming back to this dog's ear, from around the center, cut on a 45-degree angle down there to remove the dog's ear like that, as I've already done a whole heap of times beforehand. And that there stops water from tracking back on that little lip, because it's that lip there that catches the water and runs back. Now that doesn't seem like it should be such a major thing, does it? It's just a little piece of cut. But why is it so important? Well, when water comes down the roof, the water's going to come down and it could potentially pick up on that little part and suck backwards. Now the flatter the roof, the more likely that's going to suck backwards. And if you've got a house which is all trendy and architectural, where you don't have fascia or you don't have an eave that overhangs where the water can get into the soffit, you end up with water going into your house. Now this isn't a good thing. I want to show you now how this actually works. Now this footage is taken from the edge of a donga where someone had run a downpipe into the side of the gutter, and so what I did was I pulled that downpipe off and I could see exactly what was happening and why this building was leaking. So here you go. This is what happens when it's raining in a gutter. And what we have here is a dog's ear that has not been cut off, which is the front underlap section of a roof sheet. You can see the capillary action where it just sucks that water back up on the top of the sheet all the way, and that's why we need to make sure we cut the dog's ear off. Otherwise, if that's under a lap of a roof sheet, it can suck all the way back into the roof space and cause water damage to the frame and structure of the building. Now, I didn't get footage of this, though where the sheet laps over the top of another sheet, and you've still got that underlap part there and the dog's ear hasn't been cut off. Just think about how if the water is trapped between two little thin bits of metal, how much further that can travel. That can easily travel up to 1/2 meter before it drips off. So if you've got your sheets turned down and your dog's ears cut off, then your roof is not going to leak, not from there anyway. So unless there's other things, but those two things are the major contributor to why roofs leak. And we've cut off the dog's ear. That's it, simple as, wasn't it? It's just cut the dog's ear off, water won't track back up, your roof stops leaking. Would have been good if that had happened from the start. Anyway, tell your friends, tell everyone else, this is how I stop my roof leaking. And Gladiators, love doing this with you guys. See yous. This is not Primal Agency, this is my son. And he's going to school, aren't you, Cameron? You're going to be a rocket scientist engineer who's going to stop me from having to actually do any work.